Here we go. Today's ruling was a huge win for the husband and wife defense team of Karen Friedman and Mark Agnifilo. Agnifilo, of course, recently almost won the Sean Diddy Combs trial. By striking the death penalty, now the defense can really try this case without worrying that their client is going to be sentenced to death. Now, obviously, Mangione is still facing a potential life sentence in both state and federal court. But if you keep your client alive in a death penalty case, you've already won as a defense attorney.
Murder in the first degree and other related charges. How do you plead to this indictment, sir? Guilty or not guilty?
Not guilty.
Can you take this? Can you take one picture too? Can you take this? Okay. No worries. It's okay.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Unlike state charges, federal murder requires some sort of federal nexus or a jurisdictional hook. So if the murder occurs on federal property, it's the murder of a government official, it's a murder for hire crossing state lines, that can be federal murder. Or in this particular case, the basis for the murder was a murder committed with a firearm in furtherance of a crime of violence. So crimes of violence typically include kidnapping, drug trafficking, and terrorism. In this particular case, the government argued that Luigi Mangione committed the murder with a firearm in furtherance of stalking. The defense argued that stalking was not a crime of violence because stalking can be committed without force. Judge Garnett agreed, and because stalking was not a crime of violence, the judge dismissed the murder charges, and because the murder charge was the only charge that carried the potential death penalty, the judge struck the capital sentence in the case.
Luigi, what do you think of the support for you outside?
My reaction is that this was probably the right decision by the judge and a poor decision by the Department of Justice to charge Mangione in federal court. He had already been charged in state court, and even under the Department of Justice's own internal policy, federal prosecutors don't charge after the state unless there's a compelling federal interest that isn't vindicated in the state case. Here, the Department of Justice probably only charged Mangione because New York doesn't have the death penalty. It abolished it more than 20 years ago. But that's not a good legal reason necessarily to charge Mangione in federal court when he'd already been charged by state prosecutors. What they were trying to do is fit the facts of this case into the federal murder statutes. And there was just no clear match. It was like forcing a square peg into a round hole. Unfortunately, for the Department of Justice,
This is just another loss. And even though they're going to appeal to the Second Circuit, they've suffered a series of losses in high-profile cases, such as James Comey, Letitia James. And the question is, are they being too aggressive in charging cases that may not have legal merit?
Hi, I'm Brian Thompson, CEO of UnitedHealthcare, and welcome to the attendees of Reuters Total Health. Our mission and values are focused on helping people live healthier lives and making the health system work better for everyone. I'm joining you from our Innovation Center here in our headquarters in Minneapolis.
$30 now for your copy, thank you.